Sod?
Geoffrey, people who resort to swearing only do so because they lack imagination.
No, I said that's odd, Beryl. That is odd. Anyway, Dennis Law doesn't lack imagination. He's been known to swear on occasions.
What's odd?
Well, it says here, you can't marry your brother's daughter's husband.
My brother's daughter hasn't got a husband, thank you for pointing it out.
Well, she could get married.
She can't get married, Geoffrey, because my brother hasn't got a daughter.
Well, he could have.
Geoffrey, my brother couldn't have a daughter because I don't happen to have a brother.
Ah. Good thinking.
You didn't used to throw apple peel at me when I walked into the room, Beryl. You didn't used to be a Stretford ender.
I didn't throw it, Mother. I cast it upon the wind of fate.
It seems to have blown it onto the carpet. I hope you haven't cast the core anywhere yet.
The peel should spell out the initial of my future husband.
Who do we know whose name begins with a figure 3?
Well, obviously that's not a 3, Mother. That's a B in anybody's peel.
Oh.
B for, Bobbles Bonbon. Well, if it's good enough for fate, it's good enough for me.
I'm just wondering if Apple is a reliable substitute for computer dating, Beryl.
Hey, that's a fantastic idea, Mrs. Battersby. Beryl, why don't we ask a computer if we're mutually suited? Might come up with some amazing revelations.
Revelations?
I know, I always get revelations wrong.
Anyway, we don't need to ask a computer if we're mutually suited, Geoffrey. We wouldn't be getting married in April if we weren't mutually suited.
Does that necessarily follow, Beryl?
Yes.
Married neath April's changing skies, a checkered path before you lies.
There's no answer to that.
She's full of these old wives' tales, and every single one makes you miserable. Anyway, April the 29th is nearer to May than April.
Married in May when the honeybees flit, strangers around your table will sit.
Beryl, why are you putting little pieces of paper in that bowl of water?
Well, they've each got a letter on. You put them in face downwards, and by tomorrow some of them will have turned over.
Ah. Sounds pretty exciting.
The ones that turn over will spell out the name of my future husband.
Beryl, that's even worse than apple peel.
I don't believe in all these old superstitions, Geoffrey, even though there's a lot of truth in them. Like, cut an apple in half and count the pips. If there's an even number, I'll be married soon, but if there's an odd number, I'll lose the man I love.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There you are. I'll be married soon. It's true, isn't it? Next April. You see, all these old superstitions are really based upon scientific fact.
5. You're going to lose the man you love.
Honestly, Geoffrey, I wish you wouldn't take things so seriously.
Oh, that reminds me, Beryl. I was talking to Mrs. Garstang this afternoon, and she says that the new vicar at St. Stephen's has got some very strange ideas and very hairy nostrils, which Mrs. Garstang finds very off-putting.
How do you mean?
Some people don't like men with hairy nostrils, Beryl. Not even vicars.
I meant his very strange ideas.
Apparently he doesn't like marrying people who are not regular churchgoers.
Well, we'll be all right.
Well, you don't go to St. Stephen's, Beryl? Or St. Anywhere, for that matter.
I do.
Since when?
Since when I started going regularly from next Sunday with Geoffrey. Pardon? Geoffrey, we'll have to get him to read out the band sooner or later, won't we?
Well, we don't have to get married in a church, Beryl.
I hope you're not thinking of getting married in an off-licence, Geoffrey.
Pardon?
A registry office, the licence to marry people.
Beryl's been working very hard on your wedding, Geoffrey. She's designed a medieval wedding dress in wild silk, dresses for the bridesmaids, uniforms for the page boys, asked for estimates for 4-tier wedding cakes, as well as worrying about what hymns you'll want for the service. I don't suppose you'll know what hymns you want, Geoffrey.
Oh, God. Our help in ages past. Very nice. It's funny, isn't it? It's definitely funny. Isn't it?
Yeah.
What?
What it was you said.
I haven't said anything yet.
You said it's definitely funny. I saw your lips move.
Well, you don't know what it is that's funny, do you?
Well, I got strong doubts about you for a start.
A friend in need, Roland, is a friend indeed.
I know, mate. They broke the mould when they made me.
It's life that's funny, Roland.
I agree. It's a gas. Big bundle of laughs.
You know, when I was young, I couldn't wait to grow up.
And you very nearly made it.
When all the love bits came on in films, I used to think, be nice when I grow up, because I like watching them. And now I am. I'm still not struck on them. Significant, that, isn't it, Roland?
No.
Anyway, all they do is give me an inferiority complex. Now I actually see who's getting my share. Everybody.
Only with Jane Fonda, not with Beryl.
You're not bothered, are you, Roland? It's not your problem, is it? Then why should you be bothered?
It's not my problem.
And there's no reason for you to be bothered, is there?
No.
And what's one day as best man in Roland Lomax's lifetime compared to the whole of my lifetime?
You know what your trouble is, mate? You don't know how to live one day at a time. Take each day as it comes, man.
Days like April the 29th are very difficult to take as they come. I've had it. I mean, life as we have known it will never be the same again.
You could at least go around fighting.
I can't, mate. I've got nothing going for me. I was born under the sign of Cancer the Crab. All weak and watery and lacking resolve.
Saw you walking sideways. I thought you just got your shoes on the wrong feet.
Generous, affectionate, easily led, always looking for the easy way out, and absolutely no willpower.
Yeah, you don't go in for all that gubbins, do you?
Of course I don't. I just happen to be easily led, always look for the way out, and I've got no willpower.
Emigrate.
Can't. All my money's in a joint bank account with Beryl.
£10 assisted passage to Australia.
There's a 16-month waiting list.
Oh, have you tried Australia House, then?
Yeah.
Have you tried suicide?
You're not bothered, are you, Roland? I mean, it's not your problem. Why should you be bothered?
But we've been through all that. We weren't perfect, Geoffrey. Hey.
What?
Newsletter from head office. They still haven't been able to sell that 12 months in Fleetwood.
12 months in where?
Fleetwood.
Fleetwood?
Volunteer wanted for immediate appointment as temporary teller. Successful applicant to be seconded from own branch for 12 months.
Fleetwood?
With permanent promotion prospects.
Fleetwood?
Yeah.
Do you think there's a chance I might get it?
What? Fair. I mean, it's been advertised 26 times and nobody's even applied yet.
You know, that's one town I've really always been crazy about. Where was it again?
Fleetwood.
Yeah, that's it.
Good evening, Geoffrey. You're just in time for the unveiling. Rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief. Abracadabra, 1, 2, 3.
Geoffrey Scrimgeour.
Percy Filth.
Thump. Thumple Gosselpod. Is that someone at work, Beryl?
No, it's a Cherokee Indian from Yew Tree Crescent.
There's that rather nice Ukrainian who raised his hat to us and his hair fell in my shopping bag. Are you feeling all right, Geoffrey? You didn't say pardon.
Pardon?
You've got a face like a milkman's round.
Pardon?
Long, love.
Oh, I've just got something I'd like to discuss with Beryl, Mrs. Battersby.
If only Mrs. Battersby had stopped wittering on and leave us alone.
If only Mrs. Battersby had stopped wittering on and leave us alone.
Right. Excuse me, Geoffrey.
Something wrong?
Wheels within wheels, Beryl. Have been turning behind our backs.
Which wheels in particular?
Well, they're behind closed doors, Beryl.
Behind our backs.
I knew you'd understand.
I don't really understand fully, Geoffrey.
Who am I? I sometimes ask. I sometimes ask that. Who am I?
Geoffrey P. Scrimgeour. Your name's on your checkbook if ever you forget.
Geoffrey P. Scrimgeour, and a member of the banking profession. And all that entails, Beryl.
Working in a bank.
It's dog eat dog in banking, Beryl. Cat eat cat. Blue bottle eat blue bottle.
You're trying to tell me something, aren't you?
I've been promoted.
Ah, You are clever, aren't you?
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly, Beryl.
Well, the bank wouldn't have promoted you if you weren't. They must have thought you were the best man for the job.
Yeah, I suppose so. Tell her.
She'll be in the kitchen.
No, Beryl, I have been made teller at the bank.
Oh.
Or at another branch of the bank, of course. Mainly to avoid embarrassment when giving orders to junior employers such as Roland and others.
Where is it, the other branch?
Near the fish market. In Fleetwood.
Pardon?
Fleetwood. It's a very nice seaside town and fishing resort. It's near Blackpool. Noted for fresh air and fun.
Geoffrey, I know where Fleetwood is. It's a long way from Manchester.
Only in distance, Beryl.
Geoffrey, we're getting married in April. Mr. Molyneux, the friendly manager of your branch, must know we're getting married in April.
Mr. Molyneux has been very busy lately, Beryl. He's been besieged by customers wanting to borrow money due to the present economic climate. I mean, obviously, in any other economic climate, I would have had no hesitation in...
Well, Geoffrey, tomorrow, you'd certainly better inform him and head office.
What, Beryl?
Well, thank them for offering you the job and tell them that you're sorry you'll have to turn it down because you're getting married in April.
Well, you don't think I would have accepted it had there been a choice, do you, Beryl? When head office calls, ours is not to reason why, ours is but to do and go to Fleetwood.
I can't believe that head office had poached you without so much as a buy your leave.
Well, I could turn it down, Beryl, but it'd be a very long time before I was considered for promotion again. But I'll only be away for about a year. I mean, we could get married when we get back.
We'll get married before you go.
Well, they want me to start a week on Monday.
That's all right. We'll get special permission. We'll get married in an off-licence.
Then we'd have to rent a flat, Beryl. We'd spend all our savings. I mean, I can rough it in digs for a year. I could get a hammock down the Seaman's Mission. They do hammock and breakfast on very reasonable terms.
Geoffrey, I'd rather rough it in digs with you than live in luxury without you.
Beryl, I'm not starting married life roughing it in digs. And then you'd never see me. I mean, they're very busy. All the year round there's holidaymakers and fishing fleets popping in and out. I'd come home every night smelling of kippers and candy floss. And what kind of married life is that, Beryl?
Geoffrey, money might make wheels within wheels go round, but it's still love that makes the world go round.
Did I hear someone mention Fleetwood?
Not for at least 14 minutes. Congratulations, you've been listening with your ear pressed against the door, haven't you?
Yes, love, what do you listen with?
Discretion.
It's my doorbell and it's also my ear. And if I wish to press my ear against my door indiscreetly, I shall do so.
Thank you.
We accept your apology.
Geoffrey and I will probably be getting married as soon as possible.
Oh? And what did our relatives, friends and neighbours think of that?
I don't know.
Well, certainly by this weekend, Auntie Edna will have knitted 2 pairs of bootees and a cot blanket.
Oh, you mean, if we get married quickly, people will think Beryl's has a bun,
In trouble.
thingy. You'd like to see, you'd like to see Beryl get married in a church, wouldn't you, Mrs. Battersby?
With bridesmaids. And Uncle Arthur pretending he's not crying.
And a 4-tiered wedding cake and people getting drunk all over the place. And that's what weddings are all about, isn't it?
I knew something would go wrong. Everything was too perfect.
Oh, Fleetwood isn't exactly the end of the earth, love. You can always go and see him.
On visiting days.
Roland?
What?
I'm not very nice.
You're not wrong.
Well, you're not very nice either.
Cheers. We're rotten to the core, both of us. What's the matter?
Fleetwood.
You gone off the idea?
I don't know.
Well, it got you off the hook. It's either Fleetwood next week or marriage next April.
And she believed everything I said. Beryl's like that. She believes everything I say. Girls do when they're in love. It'd be better if she didn't.
Well, I tell you something, mate, you've gone up in my estimation.
Well, I haven't in mine, mate.
Well, I mean, look what you got going for you. Money in your pocket, World Cup coming up, Fleetwood in the holiday season, and birds coming in on every bus. Hey, I fancy that myself.
Oh, Geoffrey. Geoffrey Bubbles Bonbon.
Oh, Beryl. I love you.
Pardon?
What?
What you just said?
I just said what, Beryl?
Before you said what? I said pardon, because you said something romantic. Something beginning with L. L stands for...
Leeds United. Liverpool. Luton Town. Love you.
Oh. That's the first time you've ever said you love me without my having to say I love you first. Promise you'll be faithful in Fleetwood.
I've decided to turn it down, Beryl.
Oh, you can't turn it down, Geoffrey. Head office will hold it against you.
Well, no, they won't. Not if I find someone suitable to go instead.
You don't mean that Roland, do you?
Well, yeah, he's all right. He'll cope.
I don't want him to cope, Geoffrey. I was being very selfish last night, trying to hold you back in your career.
But I want to stay here with you, Beryl.
Geoffrey, you must go to Fleetwood. I mean, when all's said and done, what's 12 months?
A year.
It'll pass in no time.
A year?
Geoffrey, if you don't go, you might blame yourself for years, or me for standing in your way.
I don't want to go to Fleetwood. I've made my mind up. I'm not going.
It's not as if you're going away forever and ever.
Yes, Beryl. I mean, no. No, it isn't. Definitely.
I mean, you are coming back to me, aren't you? And with a fonder heart, if it's true what they say about absence.
It's fonder already. I've only been absent 2 minutes getting me ticket. Seems ages since I've seen your mum. She makes lovely lampshades.
Don't you really want to go, Geoffrey? Geoffrey, don't you?
Well, yeah, yes. Yeah, it seems all for the best, really. I mean, look at the opportunities it gives me. I mean us, for saving money. Not to mention our love, Beryl.
Oh, Geoffrey Bubbles Bonbon. I'll think of you every day, every hour, every minute, every second.
I'll think of nothing else, Beryl. I'll just go and get a sandwich for the train.
I nearly forgot.
Sardine?
No, I refused to let my mum make them. Made them all by myself. Egg and cress.
Oh, thank you, Beryl. Thanks very much.
Do you think there'll be enough there?
One for every mile, I should think.
Oh, Geoffrey.
It's not far, Beryl.
It took me all morning to make them.
But we can write, remember?
Every day, Geoffrey, every day.
Or better still, phone. Preferably during working hours.
Oh, you can't.
Oh, of course I can, Beryl. All I've got to do is dial 9, and I think it just...
No, I mean, not on the office phone, Geoffrey. You can't say what's in your heart and what you dreamt about all last night when everyone's listening in, though they're pretending not to be, and that Frida Slingsby starts making a call on the same extension.
Well, we can devise a code, Beryl. I mean, for I love you lots, I can say, Madam, I think your account's overdrawn, and then you can say, all right, Beryl. We'll write. Last thing every night. 3 whole pages.
I'll write 6. I'll tell you all the news from home, who's going with who's not talking, who's getting married, and everything.
Oh, but Beryl, I'll be home on leave from time to time. I mean, there really won't be all that much to write about.
How much leave will you be getting?
Well, a 48-hour pass every weekend to begin with. Though I won't be coming back every weekend. There's a drain on our savings to be considered. And then if I do come back, it's only right that I should spend a bit of time with my dad and look up the odd relative or so. But I know you'll understand, Beryl.
Geoffrey, I think you're the most thoughtful and considerate Bubbles bonbon I've ever known. And I want you to know that whenever your business and family responsibilities allow you a spare moment for your little Beryl, I'll be waiting with open arms.
Thank you, Beryl. That's very, very big of you. 5 minutes.
You better go and get your seat then.
Beryl, if you don't mind, I can't stand the waving off on the platform scene. One of us might break down, and there's every chance it might be me.
Honestly, Geoffrey, you'd think it was the end of the world. You're only going away on a short train journey, a very short train journey, really, and the girl you're leaving behind for a very short while is only coming to hold your hand through the carriage window and then wave a cheery goodbye if she can get her hand free.
Oh, please, Beryl. I just want to remember you, sitting there, as you are, while I go and get 2 more coffees.
But I don't want another coffee, Geoffrey.
Well, that's all right, Beryl. Then you won't be disappointed when it slowly dawns on you that I've slipped off to Fleetwood.
I'll miss you terribly.
Me too.
Send me your washing.
Look after me, Dad.
Be good.
You too. I'll go and get the coffees in, Beryl.
I'll come for me holidays. Hello, Mum.
Hello, Beryl. Geoffrey's gone, then?
Yeah, he's gone.
Thought his train was at 1:10.
Yeah, well, I've been walking around for a bit.
No tears.
Honestly, Mum, I'm a big girl now. 20 years old. I'm even engaged to be married.
Yes. Well, I'll put the kettle on, love. Then, if you like, I'll see if I can knock spots off you at Ludo.
Beryl, I do want to be engaged to you.
Do you mean engaged to be married, Geoffrey? Next year?
Why not? We'll get married next year.
Geoffrey.
Beryl. Anyway, Fleetwood aren't even in the 4th division.